tell you, and every one of you, staff included, that was the best decision I've ever made.
Okay, take these lessons, because we're still together.
If we do 100% all the time, I tell you, everything is possible. I think togetherness is the foundation in order to achieve something.
The other side of Al's going to have to make an early change here.
Every single person here is responsible for today. Everybody plays their part, and at the end of the day, when we're celebrating with the fans, that's the most important thing.
When you create that togetherness, you will get teams that plays without fear.
This is free to bottom!
We have one more level. I believe we go out there and we win the game, okay? Let's go.
Your work has been incredible to get to this point. We can't change history, but we can change the future.
It's Little! And Arsenal have the lead!
They speak about it before the game and they say, we do this to Arsenal, they lose their heads. We're not losing our heads tomorrow.
An incredible
23 questions for your new number 23. JLS. I know, I used to love them when I was younger, but yeah, they were my first one. Oh, good question. My mum's lasagna. She's a really good cook. Just go with it, with Adam Sandler. Luke Combs' new album. I'm a big country fan. Oh, I had a few, but we'll go with Messi. Dogs. Lotta. I've known Lotta since I was about 13, and we went to uni together, so yeah. Playing with your best friends in front of all your fans and your friends and family, week in, week out. The girls have said that they're going to have to put me on the karaoke, which I'm avoiding, but probably Young Hearts Run Free, maybe. PE. I used to love playing rounders at school, but right now I love watching tennis. Something still in sport. I'd love to play tennis, but I'm rubbish at it. But maybe if it could be anything, I'd say a tennis player. Most people just call me Les or Russo. I wish I could say I had something crazy, but I don't. So, no, but if I find one, I'll let you know. Mum and Dad. Yeah, I speak to Mum and Dad pretty much every day, so nice to check in with them. Winning, getting better, and having fun. Oh, I'm actually going to say Lotta because she would definitely be able to get us off the island. Calm and happy. I've just started watching Succession and it's very good. Dad, I think he's the one that's most likely to pick up. Well, I started reading It Ends With Us, or It Starts With Us, can't remember what it was called, and I read about 3 pages and then I left it on the plane on the way to Holliday, so I don't know if that counts. Good question. I'm gonna go someone like, I love Sandra Bullock, but I'm gonna try and pick someone blonde, like Blake Lively or someone. I'm a big basketball fan and I love Michael Jordan, so he's a big idol of mine when I was growing up, so yeah.
Arsenal rewards box. We are truly sorry about the technical difficulties. Clarke, I think it's because there were so many different broadcasters pitch side, like we were saying. Everyone wants to be here at Emirates for the big game.
You think no one got to hear all that good stuff we were talking about?
Well, debatable. Very debatable.
Yeah, look, we're here now, and hopefully we're going live. And yeah, we've got a lot to get through between now and kick-off. We've got a great studio audience.
We do. Hello, welcome. And we have some special guests as well, as always. I feel like mates of yours, maybe. Do you know them quite well?
I don't know them at all. No, I don't.
It's like we're not friends at all. Former Gunners, Philippe Senderos and Tony Woodcock are joining us. Woo! Hello. Come join us in the middle. You guys are so smart. I feel underdressed, Clarky.
They must be in the posh seats today.
Oh, you are, aren't you?
You're in the North Bank, the two of us are, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you need to share the microphone.
We're in the North Bank, the two of us, yeah?
Guys, how are you feeling? I mean, this is obviously a huge game, big rivalry. Look, we're obviously early on in the season, but there's a lot riding on this game. Arsenal Man United, massive, isn't it?
It's always the same, Arsenal versus Manchester United, yeah? No matter what stage of the season, right, it's going to be a big game, and it's going to be a test for both teams. And I think Arsenal's going to come out on top, obviously. But like I say, it's early doors, and we never know what's going to happen over the season. But this will be a day to put a bit of a marker down if Arsenal can win and say, listen, we're in for this for the long haul.
Yeah, it feels like a really big game, doesn't it? Even though it's early in the season, Arsenal probably should be on 9 points out of a possible 9. Gifted those 2, gave away 2 last weekend. Today's about making up for it, isn't it? And Philippe, you must be excited to be back at Emirates Stadium.
Yeah, very excited for today's game. I'm looking forward to seeing what Arsenal got, and I hope we win today.
Absolutely. You played, of course, in that famous FA Cup final, right? Where it went to the penalty shootout in Cardiff. How old were you back then? You couldn't have been very old.
2005.
Quick maths.
1920, yeah. What an experience that must have been.
Yeah, it was amazing. Amazing to stay in the team that long and then to be able to play in the final.
I don't remember you taking a penalty though.
No. I was probably one of the latest. Actually that day we did really well to stay in the game because they played us off the park a little bit, but at the end we remember the winner,
don't we? Yeah, hopefully today we'll play them off the park and win.
Exactly.
That's the idea, isn't it?
Yeah. So, Tony, what are some of your memories then from facing Manchester United?
Well, not particularly good ones, because in those early days they were a really good team. They got some great players, and we were in a bit of a transitional period in the 80s. So it was difficult. They got players like Robson and Hughes, and they were really difficult to play against. But it's always an occasion whether you play at Old Trafford or, in those days, Highbury, if you're playing against Manchester United. So always a tough game. I think it's changed over the years. We know of the rivalry that happened a few years ago with Arsenal and Manchester United. It's still going to be there. And as I say, this is going to be a big test for Arsenal today. If they can come through it today, this is going to put a bit of a marker down to say, hey, we're going to be here to stay. Doesn't matter if we've dropped a few points. It's a long, long season. And we saw last year, which really hurts, that when you're 8 points ahead and then you've got a couple of results and you're 2-0 up. I'm sorry for bringing it up, by the way.
Everyone looks really pained.
And it really goes, oh my God, we could have done it there. But I think you have to learn from that, and I'm hoping the players are going to learn from that. And it's just a game today, and it's 3 points. And if you can get the 3 points by playing at home, that's going to be the most important thing.
Can I just ask Philip one question about that rivalry? Because I'd left Arsenal then, so I was watching on from afar, and I loved it. I loved the game. I couldn't wait for Arsenal versus Manchester United. It was always a little bit dirty, wasn't it? It was pretty fierce. I mean, even when I was here, it was the same. What was it like to be part of that? Because you two sides didn't love each other, really. It was pretty aggressive, wasn't it?
I think our captains were leading the way, and there was no friends on that field, and great rivalry, and very enjoyable to play.
A buzz to be a part of.
Yeah, for sure. You prepare the whole week. You see the game in the calendar, and you're always thinking about it and making sure you're ready on the day.
Yeah, make sure you crunch someone after 5
minutes. And you have to be. If not, you have your captain shouting in your ear. So.
Got any predictions for today?
Yeah.
How confident are you?
I think we win 3-1.
Okay.
Ooh,
nice.
we've heard that score prediction a few times.
I think everyone's expecting a few goals. I don't know if Tony's going to go down that route.
Tony,
let's see.
Listen, I like clean sheets. I really think if someone can keep, to 0 at the back, this is the sign of a really good team. So I don't like having goals scored against us, so I would settle for 2-0.
2-0.
Okay.
I'll take it for
All
sure.
right.
I'd prefer 2-0 because in that run of no clean sheets.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are going to let you go and enjoy your nice seats.
I think there's a bit of hospitality coming for these guys.
I think so. Some nice cake.
You getting onto the pitch?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, very nice.
Okay, we'll let you go do that. You'll enjoy that more. Tony's like, stop giving our secrets away. Right, please give it up for Stadium Billy. Thank you.
Yeah, all the best. See you soon. Yeah.
Cheers, guys. See you later. Bye. See you later. They're going to have those posh sandwiches and cake and stuff, aren't they?
They're going to have a good day.
Yeah.
Well, but it'll only be a great day if we win, of course. And yeah, look, I don't know how do we feel about the team, the starting lineup? Are we happy with it?
Yeah, I think we're, as Hamza was saying before the game, we've reverted back to type. Obviously, with Partey being out, that's not ideal news. But I guess the experimentation that Arteta's been looking into has kind of been paused now, and it looks like we're going back to a more natural team that maybe we would have wanted to pick, or a system that we wanted to pick at the beginning of the season. So that'll be good. And obviously, this is the last game before going into the international break as well. So it's almost for momentum, or for how we review how our season start has been. A lot rides on how we do here. So yeah, happy with the team, and also quietly confident, having looked at United's team as well. I think we'll take care of business.
Yeah, I wondered whether they would stiffen up their midfield, but they haven't. They're going with something. I think Casemiro and Eriksen. So I think both teams are going out with an attacking mentality, which should mean goals.
Goal first.
Yeah.
Hopefully Arsenal goals. Am I right? We've got another special guest that's waiting to come in. Adrian, it is another former gunner, Henry Lansbury. Woo-hoo! Come on in, Henry. Henry's done a runner. Henry.
Here he is.
Go in the middle, Henry.
You're right, yeah, good to see you.
Nice to see. I love that you're like, he's in the toilet and he's made it out.
Looking smart as well.
You are looking really smart. Are we right to assume that you're in some nice seats today?
Director's box.
So, director's
Sorry, director's box.
Director's. All right for some.
So can I ask you, Henry, because you recently retired. Obviously, this time last year you were playing for Luton Town. You've had, you played for many clubs after you left here. How is retirement for you? It's early days, I know, but you coping all right?
I thought I'd love it, but then obviously the kids have been off school for 6 weeks. So I'm waiting for them to go back to school next week, and then I think I'll get my feet up and try and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Was it a difficult decision? I mean, congratulations on your career, right? How difficult was it getting to that point, or did it just come to a natural point where you were like, okay, this is time?
No, I think it come. I got injured before the World Cup, and I've got no feeling in my leg. So literally, where I've had the quad attached back on, went through nerves, and I was like, I can't keep playing with this.
Oh wow! That doesn't sound too nice. No. But at least it makes your mind up for you, doesn't it? So you don't want to. Yeah, you couldn't go on, so you can get your head around it mentally. But what I do know is that you've gone straight into business. You've got yourself, you're part of a company that you set up. Was it during the COVID period?
During the lockdown, I set up a company called Grass Gains.
Yeah, tell us more about it.
It's like an organic fertiliser company, and I'm trying to get out on the pitch now, but...
you got it in your pockets, you're like...
I was speaking to the groundsmen, like, wondering like how I can get it out there, but no. So it's to do with grass, and I just fell into it during lockdown, cut the grass myself, and loved it.
You got a bit of a passion for sort of gardening and having a nice... Have you got a stripy lawn at home?
I'm non-stop on it. I'm out there about 3 times a week,
You're kidding me?
No.
Do you let the kids on it then, or are you like, no?
Yeah, I let them on it to muck it up, so I have an excuse to go out and fix it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So had you always been into like gardening or pitches? Obviously, playing on football pitches for years and years. Was that something that always interested you, or just literally during COVID?
No, I used to like a nice pitch, like certain pitches I loved. And then, but during COVID, I was like, what am I going to do with myself? Can't go out of the house. So I started cutting it, and then really got into it. And now it's like a footbal pitch.
Yeah, wow. Nice. And are you working with any professional clubs yet, or is that
the goal? I'm down at Hale End actually, the academy, and got friendly with the groundsman down there. He's using the stuff, and I think we'll be down there next week cutting with him.
Yeah.
And just done Fulham.
Okay.
So Fulham's one of my favourite pitches to play on.
So Like, do you want to actually get out there on with the lawnmower and get down there?
I'm not really watching the players. I'm looking at the pitch and I'm like, this grass looks good.
Well, I've done a lot of filming down the years here during the week, and they're often out there with their lawnmowers. It always feels like quite a peaceful job, quite nice and chilled, leisurely.
It's lovely. That's why I get out there. I'm out of mine for about an hour and a half, and it's just peace and quiet. Just listen to the mower. Just go and keep walking.
We've got to run.
I need to start doing me some gardening. Henry, this is obviously a huge game today. Like we keep saying, Arsenal, Manchester United. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, normally it's a big game, but the way Arsenal have performed over the last year and obviously started this year, I think Arsenal are in a good position.
Yeah, because Manchester United haven't been playing brilliant, have they? No. What do you think about the team? Because obviously we've gone with, because you're a central midfielder yourself, or were, we've gone with Rice there, with 2 attacking players ahead, with Havertz and Odegaard. Feels quite bold, but you
I think at home you can leave one back there, and obviously Rice coming in is a massive signing and been fantastic. And I think he's capable of sitting there and letting the other 2 just exploit and just go and be free.
Yeah, we signed him for matches like this, didn't we?
Yeah, he's a big game player as well, so he'll be looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to let you go and enjoy Director's Box and try and chat up some of the groundsmen. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
All the best. Yeah, all the best. Have a good day.
I love that he's shaking the hands of everyone. This is so wholesome.
What a way to get the show off and running. 3 former Arsenal players. And we've got some of the family of David Rocastle here today as well.
Lovely to have you here. Yeah, we've got a great audience today, haven't we?
It's a proper Arsenal feel to it. Look, this is a big game. Everyone wants a ticket for this one as well, don't they? It's not been easy for people to get tickets. And as we were talking about downstairs, everyone was in the ground very early today. It's beautiful, beautiful afternoon, isn't it? And I think it's just one of those, you just want to soak it up, and I just can't wait for kick-off now. And we just got to get through that first minute without conceding, and then hopefully we'll have a good afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. Quickly, by the way, if you want to be in with a chance, I can't talk, I'm so excited. If you want to be in with a chance of joining us here on The Breakdown Live, then you want to listen to this. So, you can join our audience for a home game in the future. On screen is your voucher code, hopefully. Yay, magic! AskMun23PL. I had to read it out. It's always good code. And you can get 50 My Arsenal Rewards points, but you need to be quick because it expires at 6:30 p.m. this evening.
Oh, we had 100 points the other day. It's gone down.
Okay, Adrian, why are you throwing us under the bus like?
It's still good. 50 is still a lot of points. So,
do you know what I mean? This is what I'm working with. I can't talk. You're throwing the whole team under the bus.
I'm just saying what the regular viewers are thinking.
Right, we've got loads to chat about, Clarke. Should we get on to the Champions League draw?
Yeah.
The champions. You know what I mean.
That's enough, yeah.
How do we feel about the group that Arsenal are in? Daniel's picked up
he's
the
really
microphone. Right, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready to talk.
I feel like it's not underwhelming, but there's a part of me that kind of wanted a big gun. I wanted a Real Madrid or a Bayern Munich to a point. But what we got were 3 winnable ties, clearly, or 6 winnable games. I don't think there's any really easy ones there.
Here we go.
PSV, we were beaten by, weren't we, over there last year in the Europa League 2-0. So that's going to be tricky. Sevilla, we smashed in the Emirates Cup 6-0.
Yeah, we were there. We were here for that day.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely, wasn't it?
I imagine they'll be a bit better this time around in the Champions League. But they've not started the season very well. I think they've lost their first 3 La Liga games. And Lens are kind of the minnows that put up a title challenge last year. They only finished 1 point behind PSG, which shows you that they must be decent. I think they only let in 29 goals, which is very few over a 38-game season. So I don't think any of them are going to be easy, but we're the favourites for the group, right? I think, and there's no real excuse not to finish in the top 2. I think we have to really, we have to qualify for the last 16, maybe as group winners. So, yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be great to have it back, isn't it?
Oh, I know. I'm so excited for it. Do you feel like there's maybe a bit more pressure in a strange way because everyone's looking at this group and thinking, oh, they're all winnable?
Yeah,
right?
But it's pressure. This is Arsenal. Every time Arsenal play, there's pressure. When you play Fulham at home, it's pressure because you expected to win. Even Man United. everyone expects Arsenal to win today because they've not been good.
Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely, because Manchester United haven't been good at the start of the season. Most people are predicting that we win today. Brings pressure. Now, look, what I'm excited about is Saka, Martinelli, Rice. Odegaard might have played in it for Real Madrid. I'm not quite sure whether he's played in it before, but these guys haven't played in the Champions League. You know, Saliba. It's a real buzz, I think, within that squad that they're going to finally be part of it. And can you imagine Bukayo Saka lighting up the Champions League? It's going to be great. There's a lot of nods there.
How do you guys feel about the draw? Happy? I'm assuming everyone's pretty happy, right?
Yeah.
I feel better about it now that Thomas Partey's been injured. I'd say start of the week, I wanted a big gun. I was gutted that there wasn't a big team in there. I'd have loved to have, not a trickier draw, but a big game in there. Now that Partey's injured, now that there's rumours it could be 3-4 months, I don't think it's such a bad thing that we might be able to rotate a little bit more, especially when you look at the games we've got after those Champions League games. We've got Spurs after one of those Champions League games, got City after a Champions League game. And if that, let's be honest, the midfield and the back four does look a little bit light now. I don't think it's such a bad thing that those games are a little bit easier than we thought it might be.
Yeah, so I see where you're coming from. If you're playing a Real Madrid or something like that, you can't afford to go in light, can you? You've got to play your big guns. Yeah, maybe we can risk rotating 2 or 3 players, but I don't think we've got this far, pushed this hard to reach the Champions League, to then go and put out 11s that belong in the Europa League. I think we are going to go quite strong. I think it's how we balance it with the league, really. We might end up rotating a few players in Premier League games. It's just the way it might have to be. But we'll see. Injuries haven't been kind. Obviously, Partey out, Timber out. There'll be others, probably. But you just got to get on with it.
Hopefully not, but it's a long season, right?
Yeah, but we've got Jesus back now.
Yeah.
And we've got enough to go and attack the first half of the season and be where we want to be.
Yeah, and speaking of Champions League, Arsenal women are in action on Wednesday in Sweden. So,
well, no, it's away, isn't it? It's a tricky one. Yeah. It's a team called Linköping. But it's a one-off game.
Yeah.
And then you win that, and then you go into a 2-legger. Against a couple, whoever we draw, and then you're in the group stage. So it's not cut and dried, and it's quite hard. The fact that the players have just come back into training from the World Cup, haven't they? They haven't had long.
And we had a lot of Arsenal players out at the Women's World Cup as well.
A lot in the latter stages as well. So, but at least they'll be fit. There shouldn't be any issues there. But yeah, it's a big few weeks for the women, and hopefully they'll get plenty of support. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's have a look back then at last time out against Fulham here, Clarke. I mean, not the result we were hoping for. We thought it might be a bit of a goal fest, ideally on the Arsenal side of things.
Well, look, you don't expect mistakes like that in the first minute. Obviously, Thomas Partey just jumps into midfield, and Saka doesn't see him. The plus for me of the game was the substitutions. Fabio Vieira, best game in an Arsenal shirt, and that was a pressure pen for Bukayo Saka. Had to wait quite a long time for it. And what a ball this is, by the way. That is a great cross. That is beautiful from Vieira, and it's a really good finish on the run from Vieira. But then something like this happens, and you just think, well, we haven't had time to dwell on it there, but the marking, it's so statuesque. There's, everyone's sort of standing in their position. No one's reacting. No one's moving. The setup wasn't how the coaching staff would have wanted it to be. And it felt as if the players were just switched off. Yeah. And they're the moments where you've got to switch on. Because Fulham didn't offer a lot. They didn't have that many chances. So corner against, you've got to be really up for it. And we weren't. And they punished us. And that was really irritating to lose those 2 points. But it is what it is. And you saw, Manchester City swat Fulham aside 5-1 yesterday. So that's the level we've got to try and aspire to reach.
What do we take away, though, from that game heading into this one against Man United?
Well, you just cut those mistakes out. Yeah. I think that's the thing. Sometimes it's good ahead of a big game to have a little bit of a wake-up call, and obviously the start of matches, which we're going to get onto very shortly, is an issue. So, yeah, we've got to start better. But I think we learned that Nketiah is no fluke, that he's delivering, and Vieira was excellent. This is how important the first goal is. This is the Premier League this season, actually. It's not. It's from this season, so 23-24.
Right.
This is all matches so far this season, up until the start of this weekend. The team that scored first won 21 of 29. They only lost 3. of 29. So score first, there's a pretty slim chance you're losing the game. That's how important it is. And that's why we can't afford to keep giving away silly first-minute openers. Like 3 in our last 9 home games have come in the first minute. It's crazy, really, and we can't let that continue. Other than the first minute, we've been quite good at defending in the first half, and the bulk of concessions have come in second halves of games in recent times. So, yeah, we've got to sharpen up from the get-go.
Is that just being more switched on straight away?
Yeah, or maybe just playing slightly less gung-ho, you know, keeping a nice shape, not getting too many players ahead of the ball. Because if you lose the ball and you've got everyone ahead of the ball, then that can be a big problem, can't it? Because you leave yourself a little bit isolated. You know, Forest could have scored very early on in the game. They knocked the ball over the top of our defence. So, we've got to be better early on in matches.
Okay, Clarke, last week we started our new prediction thing.
Okay,
yeah.
And they
Remember
nailed it.
how that went? Yeah.
Well, someone said the first minute, and everyone laughed.
Yeah.
And of course, they're now top of the league.
Yeah. So we're doing a new thing this season on the Breakdown Live of predicting what time, what minutes the first goal of the game is going to be scored. And yeah, one of the guys in the room said 1 minute, and we were all like, yeah, Arsenal 1 minute, ha 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 ha.
So maybe some of the people on the leaderboard there'll be a prize at the end of the season. I think maybe we need to have more than one prize in someone's name.
I know he's already done it. Yeah. So we just want to hear from you guys if you fancy getting involved. Your name and what time, what minute you think the first goal is going to be scored today.
Yeah, just rattle through it.
So I'm Nick. I think the 8th minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
Arsenal.
God, early.
For Arsenal,
yeah. For Arsenal, yeah. Just to clarify.
Just assume. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we got it wrong. We assumed last week.
I'm Tony. Nick's my brother. I was going to say 8 minutes as well, so I'm going to change it and
you're in
say
sync.
7 minutes.
7 minutes, yeah.
And I think Martinelli's due a goal
Okay.
today as well.
Oh, we're getting the end.
Very specific.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm Hamza. To be fair, I think it's going to be a bit slow with United, purely because they don't press at all. So probably 24th, 25th minute.
Right,
Okay.
okay.
I think it might be set piece as well.
Yeah, okay.
That's a cultured answer there. I'm Dan, and I'm going for a 27th minute opener for the Arsenal.
Yeah, good.
Okay. I hope someone is writing it down because we're like, yeah, cool, 27, sure.
I'm Jacob. I think it's going to be a cagey first half. I think 54th minute Arsenal opener.
Yeah. Yeah, see, going against the grain. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan. I'm going to go 10 for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
Quick start from Arsenal.
Yeah, we had a lot of quick starts here at Emirates Stadium, haven't we? Averaging over 4 goals a game average here last year.
Really?
Which is crazy, yeah.
Okay.
I'm Monique. I think 22nd minute, and I think it's going to be a Saka goal.
Saka, yeah, that's what we like. Yeah. Well, he scored. He likes playing against Manchester United. That is for sure.
I'm Melissa, and I'm going to go for 7 minutes as well. For Arsenal.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I like the clarification. Okay, perfect. So we've got a few similar predictions.
Yeah.
Okay, only one second half prediction, right?
Yeah.
Second half go.
Yeah. It could be cagier. It could be. But the history of this fixture and the way that the two teams have been selected would point towards, both managers going for it. But let's see.
Yeah. Okay, we've got another special guest in the box already, Jacob Hawley. I've already been speaking, Jacob. And I think we're going to have you sat there if you're comfortable with the mic. Yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm having a lovely time actually.
I'm comfy, that's sweet.
So you were doing some comedy at the Arsenal Supporters Trust.
Yeah. They got me down to do a set as part of the Arsenal Supporters Trust. Yeah.
How did it go? Did they laugh?
Yeah, they did. Thankfully, I don't think I'd be sat here if they didn't. To be honest, back in my normal seat. But yeah, no, it was a really good time actually. A really good night for a really important cause as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And what's your background into becoming an Arsenal fan? Were you born into an Arsenal supporting family?
To be perfectly honest with you, so my dad isn't really a footballing man. My mum's dad was a Spurs fan.
Oh, I knew you were going to say Spurs.
And my dad made me an Arsenal fan to wind him up. So that's how it happened. And then I was very fortunate. I was born in 1991, so I was about sort of 13 when the Invincibles happened. So I grew up at a really good time. By the time I was 18, it started going south. Had some difficult years, but yeah, I mean now I'm lucky enough to have a ticket. I live literally around the corner, and yeah, this is it's a dream to be able to come and watch this every weekend and be a part of it. So yeah, if things feel good at the moment.
It's been so much fun, hasn't it? Since the start of last season, I absolutely loved it. And then the career in comedy, was that something you'd always felt destined for?
I think as an Arsenal fan, you get good training in finding the humour in stuff. Do you know what I mean? You have to have a sense of humour sometimes. But no, it's funny. There's a lot of comedians who are Arsenal fans as well. Ramesh is an Arsenal fan. Rob Beckett.
Tom Rosenthal, we had
Rosenthal,
on the show.
he's actually coming to meet me here afterwards as well. Yeah, he's here today.
Common friends.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, Ian Stone, I did a podcast
I was
with.
with Stoney Friday night as well. Yeah, I'm coming to Leicester Square as well.
Oh, fantastic! Good. We're under pressure there. We're the ones on stage. I'm not sure how comfortable I am about that.
Do you get to come to a lot of games though? Because I imagine you tour quite a lot, right? On the comedy scene.
So sometimes I have to move the ticket, but I try. I mean, I'll be really honest with you. There have been a few times where I've gone on stage on a Saturday night. I was here for the Bournemouth game last season, which I would say is maybe the best moment I've ever had in a football stadium.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's possible to not have a few beers after that happens. So I do have to apologise for the people at Reading because I was not on my best that evening. But yeah, I try and make it work.
Yeah, it happens.
Amazing. What's your prediction, by the way, for today?
I was the one who said second half, first goal. I think 2-1 to Arsenal. Yeah. I'm similar to Adrian. I'd love to see a clean sheet here today. I think that's really been our Achilles heel so far. But yeah, I think we're going to win this. I look at their team. I'll be really honest. I'd have been really worried if we were still doing the inverted right-back thing with Thomas Partey and Marcus Rashford was running behind him.
Yeah.
So I almost think you never want injuries, especially to a player like Partey, because I think on his day he's the best midfielder in the league. But I think it's simplified things. I'm so glad Magalhaes is back, because I don't think we can see that goal against Fulham if he's on the pitch. Let's see. And I think the thing to really remember, you stress about the starting lineup. Games go for about 115 minutes nowadays. Do you know what I mean? So if Gabriel Jesus comes on at 60, you've got a lot of time with him on the pitch. Vieira came on last week and looked incredible. So I think our bench is almost as important as our 11 today, and I think it looks really strong.
Yeah. Good insight.
Hey, you can have my job.
Take over from Clarke, please. Thank you so much. We have another guest.
It's all happening.
Ready and waiting. Ants live.
Here it goes.
Hello. Come join us. Are you not boiling? It's such a warm day.
I'm a little warm, I'll be honest. I misjudged. I saw the clouds earlier. I misjudged it, but I know it looks good, so I feel good.
Yeah, you're carrying it off. Yeah, I think you'd look better in that. You look better in that than I would. Yeah, that is for sure.
Well, I mean,
it's not hard.
No, if they made one in red, I'd wear it, but obviously they didn't have that one yet. So
now, well played on the tune for the tune that you released.
It was the Away Kit video, wasn't it? What a video that was as well, by the way.
Yeah, really like that song. And how did it all come about, being involved with the Arsenal kit launch?
You know what? I think with Arsenal, it's very organic. So obviously, I just put the song out. If you haven't seen the video, I'm wearing like an old JVC top. Obviously, I put like a little tooth cap in. Little testament to Ian Wright. And then someone must have just seen it and reached out. They realised that I was a real fan, genuine. You know what I mean? And then it just all came together naturally. So yeah, that's really it.
Yeah.
Well, also the video, by the way, for that song, your video is so good. I was watching it last night as well. You're riding a horse and everything, and like the mountains.
She was doing her research last night.
I was like, wow, he's on a real horse. Is that all real?
Did you know how to do that before, or did you learn it for it?
So obviously, I didn't grow up riding horses. You know what I mean? I grew up just down the road from here, but before, like a week before we went out, I get a call from my manager. He's like, right, it's time. You're about to learn how to ride a horse. So, I did it. I had about 10 hours of lessons, and then I just said my prayers. went out to Italy, and that was it. And obviously, it worked out all right.
Yeah, because it was riding pretty quickly as well.
Way quicker than I wanted it to go. Way quicker, but
you look calm though. Yeah. How did it feel then to work with the club that you've kind of grew up supporting?
You know what? I think obviously, I'm very blessed right now to be doing a lot of things that I'm very grateful for, but when it's obviously close to home, it means a lot more. So I was out in LA with Arsenal as well, had a show out there with them and them using my song, and even doing this right now and getting the opportunity to come to the game. Obviously I don't have a ticket, but they've been very kind. It means a lot more when it's something that you actually care about. So yeah, just grateful. And come on, you Gunners every time.
Enjoy it, enjoy it. Yeah, absolutely.
I think you're starstruck from meeting Adrian, right? Is that what you're getting at now?
I don't think so.
I'm a bit nervous right now. We're working up a bit of a sweat, you know.
I'm not going to ask you for any analysis. But I do want to know who your favourite players are in the current team, because there's so many to choose from. I'm just curious to know who you really like in this team.
Starting today or just in general?
Just in the squad, yeah.
In the squad, obviously, Starboy, man.
Yeah.
You know, we love Saka. I think we all kind of see a little bit of ourselves in Saka. You know, you feel a lot closer to him.
Yeah.
Currently, right now, today, I would love Nketiah to have a good game.
Yes.
Off the back of the call-up. Zinni back. I love watching Zinni. Hopefully, that frees up a little bit more space for Havertz. But honestly, man, I love the team. I feel very connected to the whole team. So, you know, I got Saka on the back of my shirts, though. So I have to
And we're going to let you go and chill out before kickoff, which is pretty soon. Quick score prediction.
Hey, I'm feeling confident today. I'll be honest, we're leaking goals at home, so I'm going to say 3-1. Get some goals.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Cheers.
Nice one, guys.
See you
Take
later.
care.
So many 3-1s,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think everyone fancies goals today. Well, it's probably 0-0, won't it? But there's not many. There aren't many 0-0ers between these two clubs. So yeah, hopefully there'll be goals. But I would love us to smash Manchester United. I've got to be honest, especially after the tour game where they really tried to boot us off the pitch. I think we owe them one today, and they've got some lucky results against us in recent years at Old Trafford, and I want to make them pay here, and I want to win handsomely today.
Well, they don't have a great record here recently at Emirates anyway in the Premier League.
They don't have a great away record, full stop.
No,
actually,
no.
I mean the record since the start of last season. Under Ten Hag, so away to top 10 clubs last season, they won one game, they drew one game, and they lost 7. So they're not good travellers, Manchester United, against the big boys. They weren't last year, and obviously they didn't really show up against Spurs a couple of weeks ago either. So I'm hoping that we get more of the same, and that they're a little bit of a soft underbelly there that we can exploit today.
Yeah, okay, we've only got 9 minutes until kickoff. Time flies when you're having fun, am I right? What is the number for us today then?
4.
Woo,
yeah, it's 4 because we've got 2 reasons why. 4 is the first time since 2008 we've had 4 players named in the PFA Team of the Year. So big up Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, William Saliba and Aaron Ramsdale, who I think was probably a surprise pick to many, but he did have a really good season. So I think that was absolutely tremendous. And also, it's we had 4 wins in the last 5. Yeah, we've won 4 of our last 5 home league games against Manchester United. So that's the number today. We're hoping, obviously, to make it 5 out of 6.
Okay, so let's talk a bit more about this Manchester United side. Look, we've spoken for the past hour about how big this rivalry has been for so many years.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this current side and their start to the season?
Well, they've got dangerous players. So, Marcus Rashford, he's got three goals against us last year. He was really good in the game here. He's so dangerous on the break. And at right back, we've been a bit vulnerable with obviously Thomas Partey coming in field. Today it's been White, so hopefully we'll be a bit more secure. But Rashford on the counter-attack is a menace. Anthony, he's not scored very many goals, but he's capable, if you give him space, of bending one in the top corner. So you've got to respect the players. We'll talk about Bruno Fernandes in a moment or two ago. There's that graphic that I was talking about there. And look at the goals that they've conceded. That's across 9 games, 29 goals conceded. It's almost 3 a game. So it's there for us to get out their defence. There's no Varane today. There's no Luke Shaw today. But what we've seen over the summer, and they've changed their style a little bit. They've got a new goalie called Onana who plays out from the back. Very good distributor. So we'll have a chance to press them a bit more. And they're also pressing a bit more, because last year, as one of you rightly said, they didn't press very much at all. But take a look at this. High turnovers, most in the Premier League so far this season. So if we fiddle around with it at the back, if we're not sharp, when we're knocking it around amongst ourselves, they will punish us. And Bruno Fernandes is a player that can really win the ball high up the pitch and potentially hurt us. So we've got to be careful that they're evolving their style, Manchester United, at the moment. So I don't think they've been very good. Their midfield's been wide open. I think we can steamroller through them today, but they've still got good players and they've still got a good manager. this won't be easy.
No, and it's still Manchester United, right?
Yeah,
We've only got a few minutes left.
Yeah.
I mean, we can all hear from here the sound outside. Everyone is so pumped
Everyone wants to
and
just
ready.
get out there now, don't they?
Yeah, Nicole, Adrian. Okay, quickly, Clarke, key man for us.
Yeah, Bukayo Saka, clearly. I mean, I could always make him key man, but he does love this fixture, doesn't he? He's scored 3 goals in a row against Manchester United. We can have a look at them here. I mean, this penalty was a real sort of... Well, this was the first one, wasn't it? A couple of seasons ago when he first got on duties. But he's so calm, isn't he, Bukayo Saka? Just a young lad, but he can handle the pressure pretty well. So yeah, he likes playing against Manchester United. He scored this one here. He scored other goals, by the way, against Manchester United previously as well. These aren't the only goals that he scored against them. He's just scored in the last 3 meetings, and this was the best of the lot, wasn't it? Love this goal. Drops a shoulder and bang. Just took the roof off, didn't it? And we really, really needed that goal at the time. But listen to the fans; they're pretty pumped up, aren't they? Behind us here, behind the glass. It's going to be another real red hot atmosphere. I love it.
I know. And what about the danger man?
Yeah, he's got to be Bruno Fernandes. I think you've got to respect him. He's created 10 chances already this season. He's a good set piece taker, and we've been a bit iffy defending set plays since we came back for pre-season. And he's just an irritant, isn't he? He's one of those guys that kind of loves matches like this.
Everyone's face is here.
Exactly.
Just like
he's just a really annoying player, but you have to respect his ability. He's a tigerish player. He's their captain, and I think he will be their go-to guy.
Yeah, and we can have a quick look at the stat trick before we head over to Dan and Jeremy.
We've got some nice stats. Yeah, look, we're unbeaten in our last 22 home Premier League matches against teams called United. Very random stat, but that's Man United, Newcastle United, Leeds United, West Ham United. We like playing against United here at Emirates. Against Fulham, Vieira became only the 11th sub in Premier League history to assist and win a penalty. First ever Arsenal player to do it. And United have picked up just 6 points from the last 10 league visits to London. They don't like it here in the capital, so let's make it another miserable journey home.
Okay, we hope so. Oh, we're feeling good? We're feeling confident?
We're feeling good.
Oh, no, it's okay. Let's head to Dan and Jeremy for commentary on the first half.
Many thanks. Well, this is a game that always demands the attention of football fans globally. Arsenal versus Manchester United is always a huge fixture in the calendar, irrespective of league position. But while both have been maybe a little unconvincing as far as the critics have been concerned so far this season, both, as we know, have real quality. And for the Gunners, this represents a massive opportunity for Mikel Arteta's side to post what would be a statement win. There is no doubt about that. Jeremy, with the international break just around the corner, a victory here would be massive for us.
Yes, Dan, yeah, it's already a massive game, of the season. We've seen Man City winning again yesterday. So, yeah, it's a huge game. We know, the rivalry between the both clubs, and every game against Man United is always a massive game. But even more, so now, because I know we're still early in the season, but Man United, obviously massive game. And if we don't get the result we want today, they will be, in front of us. So it is a massive game.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, isn't it? Manchester United haven't been great this season, as we know, but they have picked up 2 wins from their 3 games. Both of them maybe a little fortunate. Against Wolves, they got out of jail, and against Nottingham Forest last week, they were 2-0 down, but still managed to come back to win that particular fixture. As for Arsenal, as we know, dropping points for the first time last week against Fulham. Let's hope that the Gunners can get back on track. Let's rattle through the teams for you once again. Arsenal making 3 changes from the side that drew 2-2 with Fulham, with Thomas Partey missing out through injury. Gabriel, Alexander Zinchenko and Eddie Nketiah replace Jakub Kiwior, Thomas Partey, Alejandro Trossard, Takahiro Tomiyasu on the bench, now free from suspension. United making 1 enforced change from the side who beat Nottingham Forest 3-2. Victor Lindelof replaces the injured Rafa Varane, but on the bench, potential debutants Rasmus Højlund, outside Bayindir, unlikely, I should say, that the Turkish keeper will come on, and also Sergio Reguilon, of course,